Hello everyone, welcome to our video 2A. 2A, have you ever been to New York City before? Remember that this is a video part of our series for level 4, so we hope that you really enjoy it. Remember, as usual, we have 3 different objectives. The first one, we're going to describe recent events without a definite time. The second, we're going to express personal experiences. And number 3, we're going to talk about actions that started in the past and continue into the present. All these 3 objectives are connected and into one grammatical tense, and that is present perfect. Today, we're going to learn how to use present perfect in different situations. As usual, we have the recommendations. The first one, you can pause the video at any time. The second, it's a great idea to take notes. And finally, make sure you ask your teacher any questions. This is super important so you can clarify any doubts you have. We're going to start with a very short video clip. You're going to see a group of friends who are making a decision about what's the best movie to watch at the cinema. So listen and check. Here we go.
I'm sorry I'm late. I couldn't find a parking space. Have you been here long?
Since yesterday, but it's no problem. The waiter brought us food and we slept on the floor.
Have you chosen a movie yet?
We've been trying. Unfortunately, these guys have seen almost everything.
We like the movies.
What about the action film, The Last Train to Hong Kong?
Where's this train going?
Believe me, rather not know.
We're going to Hong Kong, aren't we?
Rather stay here and fight the 100 men.
No, but I've always wanted to see Hong Kong.
Look out!
We've been doing this for a half hour.
Okay, here we go. As you notice, all these friends are using present perfect in the conversation, and that's what we're going to be doing in our first slide here. Let's describe recent events without a definite time. Remember that the idea of time or place in the speaker's mind makes the event recent. A time expression may emphasize recentness is just, recently, or lately. Look at the picture. Why are they so happy? Well, they have just won a prize, so they are really pleased. I want you to pay attention to the use of just in the middle of the sentence. If you notice, it's right in the middle between the auxiliary have and the principal verb, that in this case is the verb, irregular verb, won. Okay, this is how you form the present perfect. You have to use the auxiliary have in the forms like plural forms like I, they, you, we, right? And then you'll be using the principal verb in the past participle. Remember that when I talk about the past participle form, I'm talking about the verbs that go into the third column in the irregular list, okay? This is how you conjugate it. Make sure you use this adverb in the middle of both, okay? Let's look at the second case in which we use present perfect. And this is to express personal experiences. Remember that in this case, there is not a definite time given. The time expressions ever and never are very often used with this meaning. Like if you associate this picture to traveling, right? And you say, I have never been to Japan. Have you ever been there? Right? I want you to notice how the verb to be is conjugated here in the verb in the present perfect form, like I have been, right? Once again, we have the adverb of frequency in the middle, and this is still emphasizing a negative form, right? In the question type, we are using the expression ever, right? And remember that the use in this case is to talk about ever, like saying alguna vez, right? Have you ever been there? In the question form, the adverb ever is very common. And now we have a third use of present perfect, that is to talk about actions that started in the past and continue into the present, okay? I guess this is the most common. Remember that the time period here is not finished. We use for and since with this meaning. We use for with periods of time and since with points of time. So this is quite important. Pay attention here. Example number 1. I haven't eaten since yesterday morning. I'm really hungry. The use of present perfect here requires the use of auxiliary have in the negative form, and then the present perfect for the verb eat, that is eaten, right? We're using the expression since here to indicate the moment the action is started, okay? And then in the second case, we have the example, I haven't drunk anything for 2 days. I'm terribly thirsty, right? Once again, we have the auxiliary haven't in the negative form, the past participle drunk, and then we have the form, the preposition for as a complement. Remember, the preposition for here indicates duration. So how long has this person felt quite drunk, quite thirsty, sorry. Well, that's for about 2 days, right? Now, let me show you some of the key words that are pretty common in present perfect. Some of them are already, yet, never, and ever, as we mentioned before. Already, it's before now, like in this following sentence, I have already finished my homework. In this sentence, we're using present perfect with a regular verb. Remember, regular verbs will always end in ed. Yet, typically used in negative form, not before now. Like in the sentence, scientists have not yet discovered a cure. You can have it in this position, but you can also have it at the end of the sentence. Never, not at any time in the past, including now. Like in the sentence, I have never seen such a beautiful sunset. And then, as I said before, ever, meaning at any time, including the present, only in questions. Have you ever ridden a horse? Other than those 4 expressions I'm including here, it's necessary you also learned about the use of before several times, many times, a few times, a couple of times, a lot of times. These are very common expressions in present perfect. Like in the sentence, I have been to Las Vegas before, or I have been to Las Vegas many times, let's say. Okay, now let's talk about the use of since. As I said before, remember we using the present perfect, we can define a period of time before now by considering its starting point. That's the big difference. Like when you say since this morning or since last week. If we compare this preposition to the preposition for, remember that in this case we can define a period of time before now by considering its duration. Like when you say for 6 years or for a week. Okay, let's see if you got this clear. Let's practice a little bit. So here we have a set of examples in which I want you to think about duration or the starting point. If you want to indicate duration, then let's go with preposition for. If you want to indicate a starting point, let's use the preposition since. I will do the first one for you. Make sure you complete the others with your teacher so you can double check your answers. The first one, January. What do you think is the best choice? Since January, because I want to indicate the action, the moment the action is started. Okay, I'm doing the second for you too. 10 years. What do you think is the best answer, Heya? Well, 14 years. Remember here we're indicating duration. Okay, make sure you complete the rest of the exercise for next session. As usual, we always have a short homework to complete. That it is a video checking questionnaire that you will find after this video lesson in your Usta Virtual. So make sure you complete that for me too. And this is all for now. In case you want to check our references, you want further information, you can double check these websites as well. And this is all for now. I hope you like it and find it quite useful. I'll see you next time. Bye.